Now joining us live is the Chair of Global Islamic Politics at Deakin University, Greg Barton. Greg, good morning. Thanks for your time here. So just backing up what Mark Stone reported there, how big a mark is this?
Look, it is tremendously big. We can't overstate it, really. It's not so clear, though, that it's going to be the end of al-Qaeda in the way that we hope it will be. This is one of the original founders of al-Qaeda. He was involved in the 9/11 attack planning. He was involved, as we heard, in other attacks. He's been leading for the last 11 years after the death of Osama bin Laden, but much less charismatic than his predecessor, bin Laden. And his death may not be as significant as bin Laden's death was, but it's understandably an important breakthrough for the fight against al-Qaeda nevertheless.
So how effective had al-Qaeda been, or how powerful had they been under his leadership?
Well, I suppose you'd have to say in the first instance they survived. They spread operations, as did Islamic State, their great rival, into the African continent and other parts of Asia. They were never as effective as they were under bin Laden. They faced, of course, competition as they broke with the Islamic State, and they paled into insignificance during that period of the Islamic State caliphate. But they've remained and they've expanded. The fall of Kabul and Afghanistan, the rise of the Taliban, their allies and friends, in the longer run presents opportunities for them. So the death of al-Zawahiri now is significant, but we'll have to wait and see whether he's not replaced by a more effective and more able leader. But it's the end of that founder generation. That's significant in itself.
Another interesting point there too is how it was done. Of course, there's no boots on the ground there, some suggesting that it was some kind of airstrike or a drone strike. So that dovetails into Biden's argument that America can still be effective without a military presence on the ground in Afghanistan. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. I can understand that President Biden will make that point. He has to. But look, it's likely that the hit site was just over the border from Pakistan. The Americans may have had help in that case from the Pakistanis. They may have had agents on the ground, very likely, not with the approval of the Taliban, of course. So they've done this despite the Taliban blocking them. That's significant, but I mean, it's still very hard to operate in Afghanistan. The loss of control of Afghanistan is still a great blow, and we haven't really seen that play out yet. So this is an interesting development, but it doesn't really change the fact that Afghanistan's very difficult. Yeah,
and just a final closing thought here. The Taliban's already responded. It says it's a clear violation of international principles. What sort of blowback, if any, comes now?
It all depends on who al-Qaeda manages to get to replace the Zawahiri. If they get somebody, obviously somebody younger, very likely somebody more charismatic. If they can survive, of course, because there's a target on your back when you become leader of al-Qaeda, it might well be that this actually ends up strengthening al-Qaeda. And of course, they'll play the martyrdom piece. It'll perhaps help it consolidate al-Qaeda's appeal within Taliban ranks in Afghanistan. So we'll have to wait and see.
OK, Greg Barton, at short notice, appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.